That's framed right and proves that it is in fact day 17 of VEDAug. Guess what I'm going to be reviewing? Spoilers, dude. Yeah, this is not going to get real old real fast. Anyway, I thought I'd start with the positive things about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, the new one. It didn't suck nearly as much as I... Okay, let's... Well, first of all, Well, let's start with the figures, which I saw before the movie. Donatello had gadgets. That was something which wasn't really touched upon in the original live-action and / CGI quadrology, so it was nice that they finally did that. In fact, while I initially didn't like the voices, I quickly got to like them because they fit their personalities. And yes, their personalities were intact. Also, I like the fact that while I didn't like how April was the reporter who wanted to be a serious reporter, but she keeps getting these fluff pieces and no one will let her get her big break, they at least didn't have the cliche like they did in the 90s American Godzilla movie of having her get the great story and then having somebody scoop her. Also kind of like they had the characters of Vern and Burn, sort of. Very not faithful to the cartoon, but I never liked those characters anyway. Did they have an Irma? Maybe her roommate was named Irma? Anyway, time to switch masks again. Which way do these go? Anyway. Let's stick with the red one that's kind of traditional. Now, let's go for the things I didn't like. Now, I'm trying not to just hate the things that were different from the comic or the other incarnations, but, I mean, you know, like the Cutie Honey live-action film, they tried to do it differently, and it worked. They thought, well, she's basically a 1-year-old, so let's have her be innocent. And, okay, it kind of comes off as ditzy, but still, well, we've already done the story one way, let's try it another way. Just like with the Casshern live-action film, which will have to take a whole other... Actually, all the different versions of Casshern, Hyashan, Shinzo Ningen, you get the idea. But one thing... Why are the turtles the Hulk? I mean, they're over 6 feet tall, and they throw cargo containers around. Well, they sort of do. We never actually see them. We see the cargo containers being thrown around, and then after that, they never seem to be quite that strong. So hey, there's something. They're apparently super strong, and then they're less super strong suddenly. But I mean, they're supposed to be ninja. You know, when ninja land, they should. Well, to quote from Sin City, a leaf would make more noise. And instead, time to switch masks again. Yeah, well. Also, what's with April's cell phone? I mean, yeah, this is pretty low light in here, but even if I turned off more lights, it's not going to give me a warning that there's low light. And it's like going, whoom, whoom, whoom. What's with the line? What's with all the noises that the cell phone camera made? I mean... Yeah, well, let's see here. Yep, I do not get a low light signal at all, let alone one that goes vroom, 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 vroom. And, yeah, a lot of car violence, and I mean, okay, there was the ninja action, there was the acrobatics there, but, you know, shouldn't there be maybe more martial arts stuff? I don't know. And, shoot, there's one other thing. I mentioned the camera, didn't I? Actually, there's several other things. A lot of little things bothered me. Oh, yeah. Let's go back to this. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of the fighting would have looked good if we could have seen it, and maybe the camera would have been less shaky. I mean, that's sadly a very common error with with the current era of films. A little too much with the shaky cam and the darkness. Godzilla had the newer American Godzilla, the apology Godzilla, as my friend the elf likes to say, also had that flaw. Time to switch masks again. Let's see, I haven't done, no, Donatello is my favorite. Come on, he's the geek. How could I not love Donatello. Actually, the second feature, Hercules, did not make that mistake, which is rather surprising. But, okay, this thing's over 5 minutes long, so I'm going to hit stop. Suffice to say, the film could have been worse, and the CGI turtles did look convincing. I actually didn't mind that they had noses. I did mind that they were sick. They were the Hulk, all with varying strength level. So that's the really big thing. Boom, boom, low light, low light, low light, low light. Oh yeah, and also when evil Caucasian guy looks at well, we didn't know he was evil yet. Looks at April's picture and examines it. The phone is in landscape. No, it's not. It's in portrait orientation, not landscape. You'd think you'd want to look at it landscape since it was a landscape picture, and then you could get a better view of it. You know, I mean, you want this? Yeah. Yeah. So, one useless thing I wanted to mention here. I did mention in yesterday's video that I was saving money by seeing at the drive-in. Well, kind of, except that it was $7 admission and then another $7 for the food permit. Hey, I'm not going to cheat them. I mean, they need that money they need to pay for that digital projector. But I do think I amortized it pretty well. Yeah, you see that? Bought a 12-pack of Red Bull, sugar-free, of course, so it's only mostly bad for me. And also, actually, even then, I went to the concession stand, got some cheese sticks. They weren't very good. Or maybe I should have eaten them as soon as they were handed to me instead of, I don't know. About the only thing on their menu that I could eat. Well, I could have gotten a pizza. Well, a pizza if I... better not eat pizza, even if I don't eat the crust. And I kind of hate that I'm not eating the crust. I hate throwing food away, and this is too long now. So, by the time I get this on, it'll be another minute, so I'm just going to hit stop. Good night.